We've got a Group D matchup here coming to you. It's going to be MECHNIGE1 versus Filthy Kaniggit. We haven't seen a whole lot of Nigel yet in this tournament or in general, so still looking to see how he'll perform here. The only matches we've seen out of either player so far in this tournament is versus Evolution in the same group, and both lost in pretty clean fashions. We did see some pretty exciting plays from Filthy versus Evolution, though. So we'll go ahead and get this underway. Our bands are City and Refinery. Apparently Nigel's still able to hear me, even though my voice chat is off. But what can I do on that one? Tell him to turn it off. Hopefully he turns his off. So we got a 4-hour start from Filthy. Sounds like he's already throwing out some lasers and has gotten some chip damage onto Nigel. Twist laser coming out, getting some good damage in. 6 health down already. Manages to block that one. Filthy with that really nice spawn behind the tree. Nigel looking to move in, put some pressure in. Also, I think he just wants to get in range of those lasers so that he's not getting just smacked around by that. Laser barrier going to be broken by the aura cannon. Arc of Fire continues to whittle down Nigel. That aura cannon can also break the 2 remaining shields he has, the reflect mirror and that wall of current. Both unable to block that aura cannon long term. Heat goes on. Filthy now at 7 aura. Decides to check with a laser first. Nigel has dropped the reflect mirror, now holding on to, it looks like the ground laser, purple. Possibly a melee move as well with that wall of current. Filthy manually aiming down the staircase. Nigel taking a little bit of damage. Seeing some lag here. We'll have to see if either player feels overtly affected here. Might need to do a reset. Either after this game or a redo, depending on how badly the lag affects. Nigel doing his best there. Does lose his flame sword. Filthy now up at +2 damage. Continues with the laser. Gets another one in. MECHNIGE1 suffering under that barrage. Uses a heat of his own. Trying to get that ground laser off. Filthy continuing to try and manual with the laser. Nigel with a good sword fake gets the fortress now off of Filthy. And gets him again. Some good moves out of Nigel, making a comeback. Never did figure out if Filthy dropped that aura cannon or not. Oh, goodness. What a nice sidestep by Nigel. Bringing this back close. Oh, I don't know if I like this. I feel like he should have stayed up there on him. Now that he's moving away, it gives Filthy that range for the lasers again, as well as the blaster. Playing a dangerous game here, Nigel is. Takes some more damage from the debris. Now one laser is lethal. Trying to hide from the blaster. Oh, the manual aim finally connects. And despite a good comeback and good effort there by Nigel, he is taken down on game 1 by Filthy, which will move us now to Highway. Have to see if Filthy decides to continue to rely on this nature optic The lasers being quite good here on highway as well. Now both players are ready. We'll get underway. See Filthy on the move. We see Nigel up there waiting for him to come in. Dragon Slayer is going to take a shield from Nigel, and then the hyper kick follows it. Nigel not walking that hyper kick, but now he's able to block it with the glacial wall. Filthy forced to retreat. Uses Turbulence to take a green from Nigel. All we'd seen so far was Nature, so I'm not sure what that was. Maybe it was a Stimulate or a Heat that he hadn't had a chance to use yet. Could have been a green of another school. As so far, I believe we've only seen the Glacial Wall and that green aura. Filthy now holding on to 2 more purples. Maybe a Dragon Slayer and a Lack. I already saw 1 Dragon Slayer. Ice Sword connects. Memory of Battle out of Nigel. Makes me curious what that green would have been now. Has a Lightning Blade. Connects with another Ice Sword. Health is now even. Getting in some good work with that. Throws out the Lightning Blade again. Overwrites. An attack. He's going to catch that Glacial Wall. Filthy. Uncharacteristically bad timing there. He is getting mauled in this melee right now. Decides to take a tumble off the map rather than stick around for this. Nigel now out in the open could be comboed with that Dragon Slayer Lack if that's what Filthy has. I believe Filthy's also still hanging on to that hyper kick. Memory of Battle caught by Vacuum Wall. Filthy's going to be trying to catch that Ice Sword and Lightning Sword now with it as well. Though Nigel has used both several times, so he may not be too worried about it. The Lightning Sword, if he gets lucky... Ooh, he got the freeze on. Now if he can catch up to Filthy... I guess he decides to take his trip back home. But if he'd caught up to Filthy and he'd gotten that Lightning Sword off on the Vacuum Wall, that would have been really good for him. Picked up another attack already. Unsure of what his next move is. Filthy looking to play a bit of a grind out style. Has erased quite a few moves. Uses a Disremember now. That Glacial Wall in Nigel's hand is still going to be really useful against that. Unless Filthy can get really lucky and disremember that first. Oh, so close to taking the Vacuum Wall. Loses the Lightning Sword. 2 more attacks in hand. Oh, but he gets lacked. Trying to shield fake there. The lack comes on in. Now Heat from the Void. Nigel needs to just take a tumble off the map, I think. And there he goes. That's the smart play. See a purple out of Nigel. Another shield. Not an ideal place to be. He probably shouldn't have used that aura particle in order to make the Heat from the Void not as strong. Next set of capsules going to spawn. Catches the hyper kick. Disremember misses. Looks like a Return to Nature used simply for the Hyuks. Another shield picked up. Nigel getting very low now. Dodges the disremember. Has 2 attacks and 2 shields. What he has now is what he'll have for the rest of the game, unless he loses it. Vacuum wall still on him. Oh, Thunderstorm doesn't connect, but the disremember does. Looks like Nigel has a vacuum wall of his own, and he catches the heat from the void. Oh, he's left with a lightning sword. It looks like he may have lost one or both of his memory battles to that lack earlier. And that'll be the last lightning sword. Oh, come on, block it, Nigel. Force him to a draw. Do it. Oh, he's just going to lay down and take it. Although he could just as easily erase what is likely Filthy's last attack. 2 attacks there. Well, the flame sword will finish now. Filthy, with that grind out style, is eventually able to get it. That lack, whenever Nigel tried to shield fake there, absolutely pivotal for this matchup. Nigel making these some really close games, despite being down 0-2. These have been great games. Really impressed with him so far. We'll have to see if he's able to get some of that momentum back at Panorama. This is traditionally one of Filthy's best maps. So we'll get ourselves underway. Let's see. Wow. Already some stuff going down over there. I didn't have a chance to check. 3 damage onto Filthy. Dragon Slayer. It's like a hyper kick coming out of Nigel. Must have gotten a kick and maybe a little bit of fall damage onto Filthy. Nigel still wants to go aggressive. 4 aura, 2 attacks. Feels confident in going aggressive against Filthy right now. Looks like Filthy might have tried to use Dance there. Had a bit of an odd angle for me to see it. Ooh, Nigel with the point blank there as Filthy tries to come around the stairs. Filthy now at 8. At quite the deficit starting out. I think Nigel, yeah, good call. The hyper kick pressure is good, but Filthy's right on his capsules. Might eventually have a better answer. You want to go back and start getting your own things. Environmental in hand. Enough aura to place whatever it is, but hasn't chosen to do so yet. I've only seen really... Okay, well, we did see Faith, so it's... Oh. Well, he throws that from far too far a distance, it seems. That or Filthy was able to dodge it. Ooh, Filthy loses a Dance of Death to that. It's a bold call to go and use Dance right then. Might have been the full 21 damage, all 3 swift blows, so not a bad call necessarily. Filthy doesn't stick around to get the environmental either. Picks up a shield now, so if he did have the 21... He has it no longer. No longer able to get that single death shot onto Nigel. Who now picks up a shield. Oh, he opened up. Filthy's going to be able to make that environmental pickup. See what he overwrites. Overwrites the shield. And Nigel's got another environmental. He'll lay it right there. I kind of like that it's not being hung just because he's using it as a tool to force Filthy to fight him, which has been really effective so far, rather than just to cripple him, which generally puts the player on the defensive. Whenever you lay it like that, they kind of have to go on their own offensive or, you know, squirrel around. Pin down. Already lost. Filthy with potentially that 21 damage. It's going to be dodged. Nigel playing it very safe. Filthy takes a reincarnation, and things are looking grim. 2 dances of death down. Filthy is at this point simply running for his life. Stay away from that reincarnation. Doing his best actually to get over there to pick up the Enviro, but he's going to go down. And that'll be game 3 going to Nigel in a clean sweep. Absolutely dismantles Filthy's Dance of Death arsenal with that memory lapse. Fantastic play. Now we're skipping City and Refinery, so this is going to take us all the way to lane for game 4, as this is shaping up to potentially be our first 5-game series, for which I am very excited. Nigel showing signs of life, rather more than signs of life, but very dominant in that Panorama win. Really stepping up after his rough first round versus Evolution. Looking to take down a veteran himself, Filthy. Filthy still with the game score lead, though, looking to close this out. Started out 2-0, now 2-1. It's still match point for Filthy. Nigel has to continue to win each and every one of these if he wants to stay in this series. He cannot afford another loss. Nigel looking pretty painful aura start. Same with Filthy. You don't see either one really moving in. Not having enough aura for an offense yet. Nigel up to 3, but overriding with abandon at this point, showing us that he definitely needs more than he's currently found. Filthy, a little bit more conservative in his overriding. Still stuck at 2 aura, though. Overwrites a shield. Nigel with that overriding so quickly. It's already up to 5 aura. Filthy is able to fight back with that throttle blaster, though. Nigel's going to want to be careful. Catches him with a lightning sword. Filthy doing his best to create a little bit of distance. Has the slide laser as well, or that might be Twist. Having trouble telling. Trying to manually aim down. Nigel doesn't seem too interested in playing with that. I guess Filthy can actually use all 3 skills in his hand. He's got the flame sword too. Throttle blaster, a parting shot. Nigel picks up a little bit more aura and another shield. Filthy starting to slowly get some aura of his own. Seems to be using that flame sword up there in order to assert dominance. Memory of battle. Not sure if he's overwritten enough attacks for that to be good yet. But he throws it out. Doesn't quite connect. Filthy trying to get some pot shots with that blaster, has decided that this roof is where he's going to stay, especially while shieldless, feeling that he can prevent Nigel from coming up. Looks like a vacuum wall out of Nigel. Was unable to catch the laser. Still trying to. Filthy, it's unclear if he's trying to fake it out. Looks like Nigel really wants Filthy to accidentally fall down. Unwilling to make that jump up there himself. Really wants to catch some of these attacks with the vacuum wall. He can erase all 3 in Filthy's hand. Filthy has no way to break it. All he can do is get around it. 3 shields now for Nigel. Probably still holding on to that memory of battle. Filthy taking a different route this time. Oh, the timing is just not quite right for Nigel there. Takes 3 more damage. And another 2 from the twist laser. Isn't able to block that one. He is just not having a good time with this vacuum wall as Filthy continues to outmaneuver it over and over. Skillfully so. Nigel overwrites the defense now. Gonna look to burn through a few more attacks to get that memory popping a little bit harder. Filthy still with plenty of attacks in hand. Unable to break the vacuum wall, but he hasn't had that much trouble with it yet. He's only lost 1 attack, and he's done 12 damage. Nigel eats the sword on the way up. Down to 5. Things are starting to look a little grim. Stormblade, not effective. Filthy looking to give a little bit of chase. Nigel blocks in the wrong direction. Is continuing to get peppered down by rapid cannon and lasers. Does finally catch the throttle blaster at the last second possible. Nigel is so low, he has to play this flawlessly. He does catch the charged particle. That's 3 attacks erased now. Filthy continuing to control this building here. Now uses a heat. And there goes the ice sword and the lightning sword down onto Filthy. This could be the turn. Nigel needs to keep the pressure on. And with that jump there, Filthy is possibly in the clear. Nigel again having to make that leap up. Ooh. He does erase the rapid cannon. He gets another ice sword down. And there's another. He's got Filthy still on the ropes. It's getting close, coming down to the wire. Misses that one. Filthy's going to be unfrozen before Nigel can get up there successfully. Filthy picks up a fortress now. He's able to catch the ice sword. Nigel doesn't follow up with the lightning sword either. Filthy moving in for the kill with the flame sword. Oh, and after walking it very nicely, Filthy finishes off the match. Flame sword and a 3-1 victory. And what a set of matches it was. Back and forth. We saw great play out of Nigel and great play out of Filthy. And they really slugged it out on 3 of those 4 maps. Nigel having a very dominating win on Panorama, but his only win. And that'll do it for us. We'll have more Group D action coming.